What is up? Welcome to the Stat Guy Show, episode number 24. Tonight's guest looks like is B-Rad and Braden. How you guys doing?
Good.
What's going on tonight? What are you guys up to?
Sitting in the garage, doing nothing. Kind of nice. Well, I'd rather be working on a race car, but we don't have parts yet, so.
Or a car
yet.
When are you hoping to get those parts?
Hopefully, Tony Bischoff has my engine. Hopefully, he'll have the motor done by the end of the month. But we've been trying to find some parts and valves and just stuff like that. It's been a struggle. Some 1-inch lifters and things are back ordered. It's just crazy.
So once you get those parts, it's going to be all hands on deck trying to get some testing in, huh? Before the season starts?
Yeah, we're planning on going testing at Edgewater, our local track, probably sometime in May, and get the car all ready. And I was wanting to paint it in May before the first race, but it's going to be tough to even try to do that. But I got a handful of guys that said they'll help me do all the body work and stuff. So if we can get it knocked out quick, I'll paint it. But not sure what I'm going to do yet with the paint job, but we'll see.
You're not going to keep the same? It's pretty much been the same for forever, huh?
It's always been silver. Originally I got the car, it was 69 Camaro Cortez silver, but then we changed it. Jim Boynton and I painted it. We did House of Colors Orion silver base, and then he did some whatever those tribal flames on it and stuff. But I kind of like more of a plain, ordinary paint job because I'm just. I thought about doing like a factory paint job on it, like the factory striping and stuff. Or I even thought about, my son even said we like to use like Yanko Camaros, like do a Yanko Camaro stripe on there would be different. I don't know.
That'd be cool. Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, all right, B-Rad, let's first thing I want to get into, let's go back. For some of the people though who don't know, you're like what I call a No Prep Kings veteran. You have been there since season 1 of No Prep Kings. Was No Prep Kings your first time on Street Outlaws, or were you doing some street stuff before that?
We I forget what year it was. The first thing I did was with Dean Carnes with Ohio.
2017,
sure. I think maybe we went to Oklahoma and raced. It was like a team thing where we raced against them, and that was the first time I did it. And I raced, one race. It was against 80 Dave, and it was a stellar pass. I mean, he beat me. It wasn't by a whole lot, so. But I guess production liked what they saw, and I think they messaged me to come to. I don't know if I raced on the street again before that, like in Memphis or something maybe. But then I went to the Bristol thing. Bugs on me. I went to Bristol and did that. That was kind of like a pilot show for NPK, really.
Yep. Yeah, was that the first Bristol race or the second?
Yeah, first Bristol race, which was insanely crowded. It was overcrowded there. You couldn't get enough people to sit down. It was just cars. There was too many people there. They couldn't let anybody else in.
Okay. And then so you got invited to that, right? Yeah. You were in the Bristol race, and then it went well, obviously. So how many weeks later was the first No Prep Kings race?
I really don't remember. It's kind of a blur. I was thinking about the other day because we did
a year later.
Maybe because we did like Memphis and we did like cash days out in Oklahoma one time, and I don't know, we did a bunch of other stuff. I can't keep track of all of it, but it was a while.
You've been driving the Lumina. Is it the same exact Lumina? Like you haven't even got a different one? It's the same Lumina the whole time?
Yeah, since I bought the car in 1999 and been racing it since 2000. Wow. It's been keeps getting updated because I mean it was like it ran like 530s when we first bought it. We've had a 565 with 2 Ron's flying toilets, alcohol injection on it, but that was fast because I went from my Camaro to that. And my Camaro ran like 1120s or something and so it was a big difference.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously since you've been there since season 1, talk about how far it's come.
Oh my God. Well, this first thing anybody's been in season 1 will remember, we had no schedule. We didn't know we were going week to week.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, we had no schedule at all. Sometimes they're like, we're going to go here next week, or in 2 weeks we're going to go here, but we had no idea where we're going. It was chaotic, and it was that, I would like to say maybe more real no prep races tracks.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yep.
Yeah, it was a lot more. It was harder to go as fast as you can go now, but I mean, it's come a long way. Coordination, everything is just because some of them smaller tracks. The problem with the small tracks is they couldn't house everybody. It just got bad. So that's why they had to go to the bigger tracks because to house all the people and get cars in and out.
Yeah, it really kicked off. I mean, if you can remember back that first season, I mean, it seemed like watching on TV, like you said, as you got through the season, there was more and more fans showing up to the races. Like everything was kind of catching on. It seemed like halfway through that season.
Yeah, it definitely is everything's a process, you know, it gets better and better as time goes by. But I don't know. And I'm always like thinking it's the last year, but it keeps coming and going and going. And I don't know. I mean, I'll do it till we can't do it anymore. I mean, as long as I can afford to do it and we're having fun, I'm going to keep doing it.
Right. Yeah, for sure. So let's talk about this past season, No Prep Kings. It was season 5. The biggest season that you guys ended up actually doing 16 races, one not being on TV. And obviously the most competition you probably have had for sure since season 1. And you end up finished 17th in points, I believe it was.
Yeah.
How did your season go overall, you think?
So it started out really bad because we got the combination. We finished the car at the first race, literally. We finished the wiring and everything in the first race. Our first fire up was there. We had issues and missed the first round of Friday night, so we didn't get to race. So we raced Saturday. And just long story short, we got to figure it out. I wired something kind of messed up on the fuel injectors and on the second set, and it wasn't working right. So we got to figure it out. And then it was a slow process from there, but I think it was like 4 or 5 races in before we even figured that out.
Right.
So, I mean, and then I started out late. So we finished 17 points, but all reality, by the end of the year, we had I don't know, I'm going to be nice to say a top 10 car, honestly, by the end of the year. Maybe it might have been better, but I'm just going to say at least a top 10 car. People can argue all they want, but it's facts. I mean,
yeah, no, for sure, man. By the end there, you were flying. Nobody wanted to draw you. That's for sure.
That's why you made that post there days. I said, when you said stats don't lie, it's like, well, they do when you start out weak and then strong.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like,
stats don't lie. They just don't tell the whole picture. That's for sure, right? They don't tell you the whole picture. But
I even skipped a couple races too. I skipped two points races, I believe, didn't I? 2?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I skipped 2 points races. So
yep.
Yeah.
And then this was your first year with a Pro Charger. Why did you switch? What made you switch from nitrous to Pro Charger?
My nitrous combination wasn't working for me enough. It was fast, but it wasn't fast enough to keep up with, the big nitrous motors and the big blowers and whatever. So to switch to, I got a really good deal on the motor. I bought it off Larry Roach. He gave me a pretty good deal on it, and we bought a turnkey. It was ready to go. So that's kind of why I switched. I had a guy bought my motor for a sand dragster or something like that, and then I love the switch though. I mean, it's great. I mean, don't get me wrong. I miss nitrous motor sounds and the big bullhorn, the big flames coming out. That's the best thing ever.
Yeah, for sure. Did you get any help now with the transition to a Pro Charger? I mean, did you have anybody you needed there? Did any of your teammates help you during the season? I think I saw on the show, was it Tony? I think maybe helping you.
Yeah. Tony helped me here and there. Tony McKinney helped me some, and then we had Jason Kowalski, who actually built the motor for Larry. He helped me out in a few races, and then towards the end of the year, Bob Gardner started helping me out a little bit, give me some advice. And well, I mean, not saying we do it ourselves, but we do. I mean, pretty much I get some advice and I just roll with it myself.
Yeah. So, that's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Credit, but I mean, it's like when we're there, I'm doing the tuning between rounds and everything else. So, like I said, if I get lost, sometimes I get lost on like idling and different things, and Tony will help me out on that. So I got Tony always to help me out.
Nice. So overall, by the end of the season, would you say that you were at a good place? Like you were where you wanted to be?
Yeah, I mean, not on the chart, but where the car was. Yes. I mean, you've seen the race with Ryan Martin. I mean, like I was in front of him at the 330, and which he's got that bigger blower, so he has more power. So then, by the finish line, it's like it was close because I heard someone say, like Steve Petty's like, I about got beat by that damn Lumina. That's awesome. That's a good feeling, man. I'll tell you what, being anywhere close to somebody like that with what we do, it's a good feeling still.
Yeah, that I'm sure that means a lot to you. So let's fast forward. Let's talk about the No Prep King season coming up, season 6.
Yes.
What are you looking forward to the most this season?
Man, I'm looking at starting out strong. Everybody, but it's just funny. Everybody's got these new motors, and everybody's got brand new Noonans. It's like, but it's gonna be funny. I mean, if I'm beating guys at brand new Noonans, it's just, I mean, not disrespecting the Noonan people, but it's just crazy that if I can do what I need to do with the way the rules are, the rules are perfectly placed for my combination right now. So we got a good chance. I don't know. Some people talked about the rules much on here or not, but I mean, the way the rules are, I
Yeah,
can
no,
bounce lighter this year.
yeah. So how do the new rules affect you as far as your weight and everything goes?
All it is I ran 34.5 tire last year, and so I'm already good on that. My weight, I can lose 50 pounds with the
Okay.
136 Pro Charger. But like a lot of the other guys, they can't run that big 144. I think it was it 144? They can't run that Pro Charger anymore, and nobody can run the 36-inch tire anymore. So that brings these people all down to my level.
Yeah.
So it's going to help me out a lot. So think about that. Just like think about this. These guys that beat me all at 36-inch tires, and I'm like half a fender behind.
Right.
And I'm going to be 50 pounds lighter. It's a big deal.
Yeah. No, you're definitely gonna have an advantage going in right away with those 34.5-inch tires.
Yeah.
You've been you probably run on those for a couple of years now, right?
Yeah. Yes, I have a couple of years. I did run the Mickey Thompson ones. I switched to the Hoosiers, and I liked them a lot more.
Okay.
So it worked a lot better. I switched to them last year, middle of the season or beginning of the season, I think. And they seem to work a lot better for my combination. Everybody thinks you throw a tire on, it just works, but it took a few races to get them figured out because you have to tune your car for the tire. A lot of people don't get that.
Yeah.
Tuners or Google tuners, whatever you want to call
them. Yeah, for sure. And I know there's a 25-pound weight reduction for cars that are older than 79.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Why do you think they did that?
My thought is because aerodynamics is my guess, but I really don't know.
Okay.
I heard someone say that they're wanting all older cars, but that doesn't really make sense to me. But the aerodynamics, older cars aren't aerodynamic. So,
right, for sure.
Right. So like 30 days old Nova, like that front end's like a flat brick, the Nova stuff like that. So, but they're good looking, but it's not aerodynamic.
Yeah, for sure. Do you ever set goals going into the season, Brad, as far as where you want to finish, or how you want your car running by middle or end of the season, anything like that?
We're pretty realistic goals. I mean, we don't be like, well, we're gonna go win all these guys think. It's just like, you know what? The Final Four last year was a goal, and I made it to that, and I was happy. I mean, I like to make it to the finals at least one time. That'd be a good simple goal. It's doable, but yeah, I'm good at that.
Yeah. So we talked about the rules. So without getting into details about what possibly could happen next year, as far as for this year, as far as the format goes, if they are going to do a new format or anything like that, how do you think a new format will affect the teams? Because I know you're on Dean's list, right? So it's you and Dean and Tony and Tim. How do you think that'll affect the teams if they do that?
I don't know. I mean, we'll have to see how that happens. I mean, we really don't even know 100% what's going to happen, really. So, and hopefully they announce all that stuff soon.
Yeah.
So everybody knows. But it's going to be definitely interesting to see how things play out this year.
Right. I know I've asked other drivers who I've had on about that, and they're all pretty much on the same thing. Is like you have your friends there, and you're going to help your friend. You're going to help your friends out no matter what. You're going to everybody, all the drag racers. You guys are like a big family. So as far as being on different teams, but not being, you know what I mean? It's like everybody's going to help each other out no matter what. So,
but at the same time, I was thinking like last year I was watching an episode of Bannermere when Bruce was like, these guys are supposed to be outlaws. He goes, these guys are all up there giving people times like, oh, buddy, I'll give you time to stay. Go ahead. And he's like, we're supposed to be outlaws. Like, man, we should probably maybe outlaw it up a little bit, but.
Right.
I'm not the first one to step up to be an outlaw myself, but I probably should be.
Yes, definitely. I don't know if you can't see the comments, but your number one fan, Bob Rice is in the comments. He's saying what's up.
Let's give a good old "Let's Go B-Rad" chant from Bob.
That's all you see in these comments.
Anytime I post anything, I had numerous people put just comment "Let's Go B-Rad" on there. I was like, I guess that needs to be a T-shirt or something.
It really should, man. It started the whole trend, man, on the live feed last year. It was awesome. We had everybody saying, "Let's go B-Rad."
Since Bob did that, I definitely have to keep the No Prep Feeling sticker on the car all year again. Represent. I appreciate him doing that. It helps me out. And it was fun coming on the starting line and at one time, and all these people start chanting that. It's a good feeling being up there and people recognizing you.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I don't know if you know, Brad, but you're a pretty big fan favorite. When I announced that I was having you on today, I got a lot of messages, more than I normally do when I have a driver on, that's saying, B-Rad's awesome. Can't wait to see the interview. He's such a nice guy. Everybody loves me. How does that make you feel to know that, you're being true to yourself? You haven't changed for the TV show, and you know what I mean? Everybody loves you, seems like.
Yeah, that's just it. I mean, that's just one thing. We're not going to change who we are for the show. We're not going to be somebody different. I mean, we'll be ourselves. Maybe we can amplify. I mean, I get mad too, but you don't get to see it on there. But yeah, I appreciate everybody, liking us and our fan base and stuff. So we appreciate everybody that represents us. And we just hit 30,000 followers on our Facebook page, which is big for me, but maybe not for everybody. But that's a big deal to me. I appreciate each one of them. So it's awesome.
Yeah, shout out your social media. So you have the B-Rad Team B-Rad Luminasty on Facebook. What else do you have?
Team Luminasty on YouTube.
Team Luminasty on YouTube.
B-Rad Racing on Instagram.
B-Rad Racing on Instagram. Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely go follow those if you're watching, for sure.
The YouTube's hard to do. We don't keep up on it enough. It's just a lot. It's a lot of work, and all these guys are always like, not disrespecting the guys that do it, but they're like, oh, it's it's a full-time job for them. They don't work. They can do videos, and they got someone that does videos for them. It's just like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
My son does it on his iPhone, so.
Right. Yeah, it takes a lot.
Sometimes I'm busy, and he's like, let's do some YouTube stuff. It's like, I'm not right now. I ain't got time. I gotta get shit done.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
For sure. B-Rad, this year, we saw grade 8, and I've had this conversation with all kinds of drivers over the last 6 months about grade 8, and I've heard both ends of the spectrum. Some loved it, some hated it. What were your thoughts about them replacing Team Attack with grade 8?
Well, maybe I was a little biased because I wasn't in a grade 8 last year, but I mean, I know the fans told us at the races they did not like the grade 8 versus the Team Attack. I mean, there's more diversity of people in the Team Attack. You never knew who was going to be in it.
Yep.
And the thing I liked about Team Attack too was when you're in it, like if you draw your chips right, you don't have like a Ryan Martin or a Lizzie Muser or Justin Swanstrom there to race against. You know what I mean? It's just you can go around if you have the right chip draw. So
yeah,
I liked it in that sense. But there's always a reason for everything. But who knows what they're going to do this year on Friday nights? We don't know. I never heard anything yet, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's a surprise, right? I'm sure, like everything, I'm sure they'll switch it up, which is a good thing. I don't think you can keep doing the same thing year after year, but
no.
I hear you, man. I'm with you. I love Team Attack. You went to the finals of a Team Attack, I believe.
Yeah, I did. Darlington, South Carolina.
Yeah, Darlington.
Yeah, South Carolina. Yep.
Yeah.
You did well.
Yeah, I mean, I might have had a lucky round one there, but one of them, but I hit the wall and still won. But I got to the finals against Kai. Something just didn't work. We just did something different. It didn't like it and knocked the tires off. But whatever.
Yeah. What do you think about the schedule? What do you think about the June schedule coming up?
Oh man, honestly, like logistically, we're in like the best spot I think of anybody. In northern Kentucky, Ohio area.
Yeah.
If you look at, we're the best spot logistically for all these races right now so far.
First race is like 2 hours away.
Yeah.
Right. Oh yeah. But it's gonna be bad if anybody breaks anything, because there's no, it's 5 weeks right in a row. Like there's no take a week off and fix my car or
I don't have a spare
parts.
motor, so I might have a few spare spark plugs, but no motors. Well, we'll go weld valve springs back together, whatever it takes, and we'll do it.
Yeah. Does that make you race a certain way, Brad, or no?
Yeah, a little bit. I don't lean on it as much as like some guys do. I keep the RPMs lower. For me, it's like I shift to like 91. Some guys go a lot higher.
Yeah.
But, I keep things a little lower and go, so.
Yeah, and honestly, that's when 15 races. I mean, like that's just consistency of making it every week is half the battle right there. Being able to show up and actually go down the racetrack every week.
And plus, I got to be careful. I don't have a spare Pro Charger. I didn't have one all last year. I ran all year without a spare Pro Charger and was just lucky, I guess. But the 136s are a lot more reliable. It's the older. Hell, it's 8 years old, the one I got. If we could freshen it up, it's 8 years old.
Yeah, wow.
And that's the same one I'm going to run this year. So
nice. So did a lot of the street stuff for Street Outlaws is going to small tires, obviously.
Yeah.
Is that are you gonna go? Is that direction you want to go to as well with a small tire car?
I've never done small tire. I think it'd be fun to do, but the thing is with the street stuff. I mean, even when they were still big tire, they kind of quit inviting me to the street stuff. So I kind of just whatever. I mean,
Oh,
there's no reason
okay.
to really try because I wasn't really going to them.
Right. Yeah, I guess.
But I did like them. I mean, it was fun. The street stuff's a whole different element. I mean, it's fun to do, but I never done small tires, so I wasn't going to just sort of small tires in my car and go straight to the street. I thought that'd be a little silly to do.
Right.
So I just didn't do it anyway. But yeah, small tire. But I feel like I'd have to have a whole different car though.
Yeah, definitely. And I think seems like for the drivers who have done it on the streets and in No Prep Kings, they used to use their car like when it was big tire in the streets. They used to use the same exact car for No Prep Kings and big tire.
Yeah.
And the streets. So now they get a chance to like have two separate cars. So I think that's better for those guys too to do that. So
yeah.
Talk about obviously B-Rad, you don't have as big as a race program as some people who do No Prep Kings.
Right.
And you get to race with your son Braden. Talk about how important your son is to your race program and your relationship together and how that all goes.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's like I said before, when it's just me and him out there, and we're next to these big guys, the full-blown teams, it's just me and him out there. Like, hell, last year our RV broke down, so we're sleeping in a car trailer the second half of the season. We had no fine hotels or nothing. We're sleeping in the car trailer, and it's like, we're back here sleeping in a car trailer, and these guys got these $500,000 rigs, and we're right next to them. I love it.
Yeah. I think honestly, B-Rad, I think that's why you're a fan favorite, right? I think everybody roots for you. I know I had Ryan Martin on a couple of weeks ago, and I asked him a question about other than his 405 teammates, who does he root for? And you were the first person he said was, I root for B-Rad because he's just a great guy in a small race program, and he is right there with everybody when it comes to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think what it is I don't overthink things when I tune my car. Like a lot of these people, when I used the term before, Google tuners. What I mean by that, I hate to disrespect people, but just some of these guys that call Google tuners, they know every stat. Well, stats, but every stat, every number. Like they're like, you got to have this gear ratio, you got to have this instant center, you got to have this. It's like, no, you don't. I was like, I don't even know what that shit is on my car. I just do it, and my car tells me what it wants. I make adjustments, and it goes.
Right.
The car tells you. It's pretty simple.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. B-Rad, what was your favorite track you went to this past year?
My favorite track, honestly, I always like Bandamere just overall. I mean, the track sucks in point of the elevation and tuning, but it's also a fun challenge. I love the challenge of it.
Yeah.
But that's the one where my RV died on the way home. Didn't make it home. It's still in Kansas somewhere. Oh boy. It was my trailer wheel. I lost a trailer wheel on the way out there, and I don't even know where it's at. It disappeared somewhere off the trailer. But
that's awesome.
Stuck in the side of a cow on the side of the road or something. I have no idea.
Yeah. So B-Rad, what do you enjoy doing when you aren't racing or working on your cars?
Oh man, I don't know. Sometimes something I used to not do is sit around and relax. I like to do that sometimes now, which I don't really do it that often, but it's nice. I used to be like the busybody. Like we go on vacations, like, and they're all sitting around the beach. I was like, I'm going to go get a job at McDonald's or something. I can't do.
I think that's a sign you're getting older, B-Rad.
I guess it is. Yeah. But yeah, we're getting, I don't know. We just do whatever. We're just running around the neighborhood doing stuff, hanging out with our neighbors. And we're always doing something. We like to have a good time.
Do you get involved in any other kind of motorsports besides cars or anything?
No, just like I said, my daughter races a junior dragster still. Braden, we just sold his junior, and he's trying to make me buy him a $100,000 small tire car.
Oh, okay. I would say that.
So
yeah.
But we dug up my old high school Camaro and put an LS2 in it, and we've been driving it around and stuff. So, family, we jump in the cars, the family go get ice cream and whatever, go cruising around. We have a good time with that.
Yeah. Yeah, nice. B-Rad, I have a new segment in my show where it's called Did You Know, where I list out 3 stats, that you might know, you might not know about yourself, mostly No Prep King stats. So I'm going to read them off, and I want to get your reaction. I want to get your opinion on it. So all time, No Prep Kings, in your No Prep Kings career, which includes team attack and the main events, you're 18th all time in round wins. So you're top 20 all time in round wins.
Okay.
What does that mean to you to be top 20 of all the guys that have raced No Prep Kings now in 5 seasons? There's been how many events? I mean, 50 some events or whatever. What does it mean to be top 20?
I mean, that's still pretty big because I know 2 years ago I did really bad the last year of my nitrous motor. So I mean, I didn't do very good at all then. So it's a big deal actually. I mean, speaking of all the people that's been doing this and people that want to be in this program that aren't in it and trying to be in it. So yeah, it's a big deal.
So what, you said your 2 years of season 4, you said was a bad year? Was that
Yeah,
what?
I think it was
Season 4.
Yeah, season 4 I had a bad year. Just nothing would go right. I kept losing, and I was always in somehow, but it just didn't work out.
Okay, because that was the year you actually won the most rounds. You won 14 rounds that year. That was the team attack year too, where you went to the finals in team attack.
Well, I did good in team attack when I was in it, but I was like,
Yeah, you were. Yeah. And you might be probably know this answer. This is I like to say a little statistic that's probably not the greatest statistic for you. If you had to guess who has beat you the most times in your No Prep Kings career, who do you think that would be?
Ryan Martin.
Ryan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Ryan Martin. What most drivers can have that same answer as that, but yeah, he's actually beat you 7 times, which I had talked last week with Swanstrom about how many times he had raced Ryan Martin. And I said, well, if you're racing Ryan Martin a lot, that means you're going pretty deep in the rounds too. You know what I mean? Like if you just draw him in the first round every time and lose, you know, you're not going to draw him as much. But if you draw him, if you're going rounds, you're going to draw him, you know, second, third round like that. The more you draw the top guys, the better you're doing. So.
Yeah, we raced him 3 or 4 times this year.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, like at the end, like you said, man, you were right there with him. So
it's crazy how there's so many people I've never raced an MPK yet. Like Justin Swansby just mentioned. I never raced Justin and No Prep Kings ever yet this year. And just a few other guys. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, that's a stat I didn't know.
Yeah. No, I did race him on, you know, 2 years back in Piedmont, but it was not for MPK.
Okay. B-Rad, if you want right now, we'll take a couple of questions from the fans.
Okay.
So if you are watching, post a question in the chat box. B-Rad will answer some of your questions. While that is going on, I am going to shout out a couple of my sponsors real quick here.
Are you looking for a quick access firearm storage system that has a variety of access control levels based on your needs? Well, head on over to DoorGunnerUSA.com, a family-owned business who makes their products 100% right here in the USA. CajunHeritage.com is the place to go for authentic Cajun flavor. Rouge seasonings provide a high-quality, pure, and affordable option when you're looking for that South Louisiana taste. For any and all No Prep Racing news, not just Street Outlaws, go to NoPrep.com or the No Prep Racing page on Facebook. This is the #1 source for all things No Prep, so be sure to check it out.
I just want to give a quick shout out to Cajun Heritage. They sent me some of their seasonings that they had, and I just put some on burgers the other night, and it's phenomenal. I'm a Wisconsin guy, so I don't get the Cajun stuff too often, but this stuff is really good. So go to CajunHeritage.com and order some of their stuff. B-Rad, do you have any sponsors or partners that you'd like to shout out right now?
Well, obviously, MTX Audio. They've been with me since season 2, I think. Definitely them. Pro Charger helped me out a little bit on the Pro Charger stuff. Eni Trucking, they helped us out last year, big time towards the end of the year. Man, you put me on the spot. I got to think about. I usually got a list of things because I always forget when I post them. I gotta put on there because I can't remember all of them honestly offhand.
Pro Torque helps us out.
Pro Torque, yep.
Possibly.
There's possible people, but I was like, I don't want to give them credit until it's due, right?
Yeah, right. For sure. How do you go about doing that, B-Rad, as far as getting sponsors? Like what I've talked to Tony McKinney. He likes to create like actual friendships and like partnerships with people. He won't just take anybody's money, is what he says, and you know what I mean, and do that type of thing. What do you look for when you're trying to get partners or sponsors?
Well, I want someone who wants to win as much as we do. First off, that's a big deal to me. And if someone does something with money, though, I always like to do it a per race. I'm not gonna be like, hey, give me this much money per year, because I think it's more fair to do per race. Because if I can't make all the races, or that way, it's this much per race. That's the way I like to do it. So
Yeah.
there's also not much of a commitment either.
Right.
So,
Right. That's very true. Yeah.
if they want to, skip out, that's fine. At least help me because I got a guy that's gonna help me at one of these races a lot, and, like a local bar and stuff like that. So.
I see a couple. I'm not sure if you guys can see Braden can see the questions or not. There's one from Ralph. It says, "What current MPK track have you raced at the most in your career?"
Maybe we've been to quite a few of them a few times.
Probably trails.
National Trails. I mean, that's 2 hours away from me, but I've only been there just for MPK races.
Oh,
Actually, you know what? No, I did go there once I went to the finals of some race they had there a few years back, 5 years ago, maybe 4 or 5. I don't know.
yeah.
I really don't know. That's a hard question.
No.
What tracks do you? I mean, what tracks do you love as far for? I got a question because I'm a big food guy. What track has the best track food?
Ooh, what's that place that does really good burgers?
Is that Virginia?
I don't remember.
Hmm.
Man, man, I should write stuff. I'm gonna start writing everything down. I'm gonna have me a notebook. Every racetrack I go to, best food, best.
I know Virginia has the best restrooms.
But yeah, Virginia has the nicest, cleanest bathrooms. That racetrack.
Virginia. Okay, nice.
That's a pet peeve of mine at racetracks. Bathrooms are always nasty.
I'll think of the food.
But who you like to race the most besides Ryan? Man, I don't know. Who do I like to race the most? And there, I don't like the. There's nobody the most. It's just I just like racing anybody. It doesn't really matter to me. And I don't like to race somebody I know I think I can beat. I like to race someone who I need to beat.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, someone keeps asking if I tested my Camaro. No, well, maybe on the highway we might have tested it a time or two. What makes you choose Pro Charger over True Roots or Turbo when you're making the change? I just got Pro Charger because it was, like I said, it was a good combination, a good deal.
Route.
It was the cheapest route for what I was doing.
Blowers were like 30 grand or something.
And honestly, those big blowers sitting in them cars, it's kind of overwhelming looking out the hood and seeing that big rowdy thing sitting there, honestly. And they're so loud. Well, my car's loud, but them things are always loud.
Ty just posted a video with his new Regal and with the blower on it, and he was sitting in, and he's like, I can't really see around. Can't really see around too much.
That's gonna be interesting watching them do that. Honestly, that's a cool car. Don't get me wrong, but it's just funny. Hope he figured it out quick. Because I think he said that's not even his blower in the video he had, and he's waiting for his blower to come in, and then he's gonna go test.
Yeah. Do you want to know? I think they should, Terry. Let's go B-Rad jerseys to come out too.
Yeah, Bob sent me a picture of one he said I need to do. It's kind of funny, but
I made something.
Yeah, Braden's got one we made up too, but I think I need to start ordering some merchandise stuff. We just ordered some stickers and bracelets and stuff like that. I was trying to decide on a shirt and the company to use to make shirts.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a few recommendations and people like. I'm looking for something that's good quality too, because I had some stuff in the past. Sometimes it wasn't the best quality, didn't last, and I want someone to buy something that's going to last.
Right. Does selling merch at the races, does that help you? Your smaller program? You need that?
Man, I gotta be honest.
Sometimes
There's some races I do okay. I'm just not as popular as other guys. Like some of these guys, they'll make $10,000-$15,000 in shirts a race. There's some races I sell 1 or 2 shirts. That's it.
Wow.
Like when Alabama, the best I did, I sold 2 shirts, and I forced a drunk guy to buy them. So, or Rockingham, yeah. So. Yeah,
well,
sometimes I don't know what it is. I don't know the rhyme or reason on merchandise sales, but I guess I got a little decent setup, but I just need to get call up Joe or Josh Minson and get one of those red tide campy setups.
Yeah, those are nice. I saw those. Yeah.
So I'm just being cheap and just hold it off, but I need to just get it done and be done with it.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Brad. At the first race I'll be at, I'll buy a B-Rad shirt for sure, man.
Hopefully, I have some.
Yeah.
Hopefully, they're sold out by the time you get there, because that means I'm doing good.
Yeah, right, exactly. Hey, man, I sold them all out. I don't have any. That's funny. Zoomies or bullhorns? Someone wants to know.
Zoomies.
Zoomies for pro charger and blower, bullhorn for nitrous.
Yeah, those do make a difference, honestly, because I know when I did wreck the car and I knocked off the bullhorns, they get that ones that aim straight up. I put ones that aim straight out the side the next race. And the first pass I went down, I did a 400-foot wheelie. So they definitely they definitely hold the car down.
Yeah.
And with the Pro Charger, with the Zoomies, it's even more downforce because, like now, like before, my front end percentage was like had 54% on the nose. Now I'm like 48% on the nose, and it does no wheelie at all. It just goes.
Oh wow.
So
Yeah, that's a big difference.
yeah, it's crazy.
Sir William wants to know what's your 9 to 5, Brad?
Family business. I work for my stepfather, basically. Man, we've done all kinds of stuff. So right now, basically, we have a big eBay store selling lots of rare classic engine parts, like numbers matching big block Chevy stuff. I mean, when I say it's big, like we used to have hundreds of blocks, heads, and I mean, he buys out businesses. Like he's going to North Carolina. My stepfather is Sunday to buy out a whole place down there that was like it's like 2 semi-trailers full of parts. I mean, he does that stuff like that, and we come back, we clean all this stuff up, and put it online and sell it. And but we have like commercial rental properties and stuff like that. So we just do a little bit of whatever. But
Nice. John Odom says, "What's up?"
What's up, John?
John Odom, what's up, buddy? I got to talk to him on the phone every night. He's a fun guy. I like him.
Yeah, John. I've talked to him a few times. He seems like a real authentic guy for sure.
Yeah, I think me and him would be good next to each other because like we balance each other out because he's a little louder than me and says whatever, and I'm like the opposite. I get a little quiet and don't say what I think. So we need to maybe meet in the middle and.
Right. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Richard Rowe says, "What's up?"
Dynamic duo. Yeah. Everybody likes. It's funny. Most people like Braden. They like Braden more than me because one of my sponsors was giving us something, and it's like, "Is that for Braden?" He goes, "If it is, I'll just give that to him." I was like, well, what if I wanted it?
That's why this Camaro is rolling.
Yeah, that's so funny. Me and him have a good time. It's fun, like we talked about earlier about just father and son, because there's not many father and son teams. Where you got Jeff Lutz and his son,
Jim Howell and Jimmy.
Yeah, Jim Howell and Jimmy. Monza,
you got Bodie.
Yeah, Bodie. Yeah, I always think about them because they both race actually, so that's a little different, but it's the same thing.
Different.
But still the same.
Swan, a big country. Yeah,
Yeah.
Father son. Yeah.
Big country. He's a character cool.
Too. Yeah. That's cool. I love to see it, man. Whiskey Showers. Whiskey Sours. There you go. B-Rad, hit that up.
What's up?
Tracy Sowers says Whiskey Sours wants to sponsor your car.
Oh yeah, that's who I was talking to with somebody about doing that in Gallant with them guys. Yep. So I looked at their logo and stuff. It's a neat little logo, and just I like to help out people too. They want to help me out, and we help them out.
Yeah.
Most guys probably wouldn't do it unless they get gazillions of dollars, but whatever. I need something, and I like to help people out, so it's kind of a win-win situation.
Right. Yes.
A lot of these big businesses don't realize how much advertisement they can get for a little amount of money, honestly, and it's kind of like it's hard to talk people into it. It's really is. If they don't understand it, it's hard to.
Yeah, no, I hear you, man. You would think saying, "Hey, you're going to be seen by millions and millions of people on TV," for 15 weeks. You know what I mean? Like you would think that's a big selling point, but
it's also about a full-time job to try to get sponsors. Honestly, it's just as hard as doing YouTube.
Yeah, right. No, you're right. You're right with that for sure. Well, B-Rad, I want to say first off, I want to say thank you for coming on the show tonight, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I know you guys are busy getting ready for the season to start. Braden, it was awesome you came on too, buddy.
Yeah.
I wish you guys the best of luck this year. I will be at the first race in Ohio. So I'm definitely gonna come by and say hi. Hopefully you have some shirts available then. I can buy one.
Awesome.
Well, thank you so much for coming on, guys.
Thank you. See you, everybody. We'll see you there.
Have a good night.
Thanks.